I want to thank everyone for being here today. We do these 1 o'clock team support calls every, Monday through Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to come together and allow you to learn about a very powerful new technology that can greatly impact your health and your well-being. So I have a few questions as we get started today that I want to engage you with. And those questions are this, and I just want you to simply answer them to yourself as we go through this. Are you concerned? Are you here on the webinar today and you're concerned over a particular health issue? Do you have any current discomfort in your body? Kind of scan your body from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. Is there any discomfort there? Something that really causes you maybe some pain? Do you have any evident aging on your skin? Is there some type of chronic sickness that's robbing your quality of life? Do you often wish you just felt better, had more energy, or maybe better quality of sleep? Does getting older cause you to feel anxiety? And the last question is, are you potentially open to learning about a new technology that would impact all of the above? And maybe you're here and you're completely well, you feel great, but you want to continue to feel that way as you get older. All of that and all of that we're going to talk about today is going to impact every single one of you that are on this webinar today. And this is potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And this is a quote by Washington State University, who was actually part of the clinical studies that I'm going to bring to you today about our formula. And before I get started, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. By the way, my name is Jackie Kilby, and I'll be your presenter today, and it's a true honor. I want to say this at the beginning of the call. It is a true honor for me to be here and to have this platform to share this powerful new technology with you. And I know how much it's impacted my life, and I know it's going to do the same for you. But the information you're about to hear is not intended to treat, heal, cure, or mitigate any disease. I am not a doctor, don't claim to be so, but what I do know is this new technology on the forefront of clinical background science is absolutely a paradigm shift and change for all of us that are here today. You know, and there is a shift that's taking place in the world of nutraceuticals. It's a true game changer, and one of the reasons why I decided to be part of pioneering this and aligning myself with this company that's in the forefront of literally moving us away from supplementation, which you can see by this picture, which my cabinet looked like that. I'm going to ask you all, does your cabinet full of supplements of some type? And we're moving away from supplementation in this new era of nutraceuticals to activation. Now, what is activation? Activation is getting the body to go back and perform the way it did upon its creation. When you were born, the doctor did not send you home from the hospital with a bag of supplements. That's something that we acquired and learned as our body began to break down. And with this comes so many questions, and I chose this picture because it's been me. I can't tell you the times that I've gone to the computer and was dealing with a certain issue in my tissues, and I was trying to figure out how do I fix it with a supplement of some sort. But the thing that many people don't understand, that's this part of this new era that we're in, that many of the supplements that you take are from a synthetic source. You can browse the aisles in any major department store, even your health food store, and you pick up the bottle. You have absolutely no idea exactly what it is. You just read about it, and it's supposed to help something somewhere along the way. But the reality of that is most, not all, but most supplementations are from a synthetic source, which is something that the body doesn't easily recognize. And it can actually end up in this, they actually have clinical studies on this, it can actually end up causing the body more harm than good. So I'm hoping that today, I know that today, is going to help you to understand this new technology, how powerful it is, and how it can begin to address the very things and concerns that I asked you from the very beginning of the webinar. Now, this new paradigm shift, this game changer that I'm referring to, is actually a new term that you'll probably be hearing a lot about in the days and weeks and months and years ahead, and it's called nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics, epigenetics, is the research on how nutrients, true nutrients, and this is the key, natural compounds can affect your genes. Did you realize that you have approximately 25,000 genes? As you're sitting watching this webinar, listening to me via phone, you have about 25,000 genes currently operating in your body. Now, when you think about what a magnificent creation that our body is, we truly are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a major computer that's never been created on this earth, that never probably will be again. It's a magnificent machine. And what nutrigenomics is all about is getting the body to work the way it was created to work, so that it can heal, repair, and restore. It's made to do that. Now, this new technology that I'm going to bring to you today is about a term called NRF2 activation. NFR2 activation, or NFR2 pathway, is actually a protein that's inside of every single one of your trillions of cells. And believe it or not, it has the capacity, when it's working the way it's supposed to create its own antioxidant. Your body has its own way of making it be a perfect supplementation. Now, there's some things like vitamin C, for example, that your body doesn't naturally make, and we need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables to get that. But did you know, I don't want to forget to say this, because so many people supplement with a synthetic vitamin C. There's like 80% of them out there are synthetic, and a synthetic vitamin C will do more to protect the cancer cell than it will to protect your healthy cells. So if you need vitamin C, we do. Eat your fruits and vegetables, or go make sure, if you're getting one, that it comes from a natural source. But your body was created with the capacity to make its own supplementation and to give the body exactly what it needs. This NFR2 pathway is very powerful, and you're going to learn about it. And this new technology that I'm bringing to you today is about the activation of that pathway, the activation of that protein that's existent in all of your trillions of genes, and it's about getting that to work and operate like it did when you were created. Literally, for the first time in history, this gives us an edge in turning back the clock through cellular reprogramming. I know if you're watching this is a cute picture, and isn't it awesome to know that there's something now that literally gives us an edge on turning back the clock, literally erasing years inside of your body. Now, that's the key, erasing years inside of your body. Now, you see it externally. You can see it on your skin. Your skin's an organ. It's the largest living organ on your body. It's the third kidney. It helps you to detoxify the body. It's very powerful, but it is an organ, and it is aging, and it is affected by what we're going to talk about today. Now, there's basically one contributing factor that leads to most that's linked to over 300 plus diseases, and that's free radical damage to your cells, free radicals, or free radical damage to the cells. Now, I want you to understand this. Just sitting there, going through life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there are 100 sextillion free radicals bombarding your trillions of cells 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This free radical damage is linked to over 300 plus diseases. At the top of this, and I'm going to show you later how to know if it's linked to your particular whatever it is you might be dealing with. Everything from aging itself, or the shortening of telomeres, to heart disease or cancer or arthritis or any of the things. I'm talking about oxidative stress or free radical damage is linked to these particular illnesses and diseases, and the list goes on. As I said, there's over 300 of them that's directly related to this incredible damage, 100 sextillion, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, Jackie, what is a free radical? What are these 100 sextillion things happening in my body 24 hours a day. Well, here's an example, this little angry guy right here, of what they are. And they're actually an unhappy molecule. And they're seeking an electron to pair. They're very reactive. They can literally and do, not can, they do cause havoc in the body, without a doubt. They are known as a mechanism of damage. And they're the root cause of something called oxidative stress. And you're going to learn about what oxidative stress is today and how it is linked, excuse me, to potentially what you're dealing with. Hold on one second. I apologize, I got a tickle in my throat. We're going to learn about how these free radicals are linked to this oxidative stress, which goes back to those 300 plus diseases that are affected from these free radicals. So how do we get these free radicals? This is the amazing thing. You know, can we stop it, whatever, you know, in general? You get these free radicals, just, number one, just from daily living, just going about life, living and breathing. Every time you take a breath of oxygen, the byproduct of that oxygen is free radicals that are being released inside of the body. Pollution, I'm talking about 100 sextillion, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Poor diet can increase those free radicals. Stress, emotional stress, smoking, drugs, all types of pharmaceutical drugs, all kinds of illnesses, chronic illnesses, using cell phones. Even exercise can increase those sextillion free radicals at a rate of 10 to 20% more, because when you're exercising, you're taking in more oxygen. And I know it seems like, why in the world is all this happening? And, you know, surely there's got to be something that prevents or can do something about this type of damage. Well, there is. When you were first created, and I love this picture, when we were first created, our body, as I said, has within it something called this NFR2 protein that's very active inside all of your trillions of cells. And this particular NFR2 pathway is directly responsible, remember I told you, for making its own supplementation. Antioxidants are very powerful in eradicating. Remember we talked about the free radical is looking for an electron to pair or something to neutralize it. Well, antioxidants will neutralize free radicals. But our body, from the time of creation through this NFR2 protein, that's what it did. Your body on its own, when it's operating the way it was created to do, it will make unbelievable amounts, I don't even know the number to put on it, of its own antioxidants. And there's 3 in particular that it directly affects. And this is very active in your youth, on up to around from the course of time you're born into your 20s. And these 3 antioxidants that are very powerfully being released in your body, one is called superoxide dismutase. Superoxide dismutase is actually responsible for 99% of the removal of all of those 100 sextillion free radicals that are ravaging your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And as it would be upon creation of this incredible machine, of course there was something in place that would knock them out as fast as they would come in. When the free radicals come in, these antioxidants, the NFR2 pathways activated, these antioxidants are removing them as fast as they come in. And then you have the second one, which is called catalase. And catalase is actually known as the DNA fountain of youth, another powerful enzyme that also is creating superoxide dismutase. And then I'm sure you've heard of glutathione. Glutathione is known as the master antioxidant. It controls so much of the others. And literally what it does, when glutathione is in high amounts and in correct proportion in the body, it will encapsulate every single one of your trillions of cells, and it protects it from the onslaught of all of these free radicals that are bombarding your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But something happens according to research. When you reach about the age of 35 years of age, there starts to be a decline that NFR2 pathway begins to shut down. The antioxidant activity is not working. The antioxidant activity is not the same as it was during your youth, and it begins to drastically slow down when you hit about the age of 30, 35 years of age. And actually, research shows that when you're about 40 years of age, believe it or not, it's almost non-existent. So let's think about that for a minute. You're still having your body bombarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with these free radicals just living and breathing and going about life. And if you've got any of the other stuff added to it, it's even more. You still have that, but that NFR2 pathway or that protein is not producing in your trillions of cells anymore. So therefore, the body's just filling up. There are no antioxidants being produced to remove them at a rate of 99% of them literally at a rate of 1 to 1 million per second, believe it or not. When the body is operating the way it was created, that's how fast. They're coming in at a rate of 1 to 1 million per second. They're removing them almost as fast as they come in. But when you get to be about 40 years of age, they literally are no longer working anymore. So what happens is a term called oxidative stress. Now, oxidative stress is not like emotional stress, but what oxidative stress actually is the buildup or the aftermath of free radical damage when that NFR2 pathway is no longer working inside of your body, which, remember, drastically starts slowing down when you're in your mid-30s. It's no longer working anymore, so this buildup of all of this free radical damage inside your body starts building up, and the aftermath of that is called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is when your body rusts from the inside out. I want you to think, if you've ever seen anything rusty, you can literally almost take your fist and put it straight through it. It deteriorates, it damages, it breaks it down. People that get rusted cars, if you get a rusted car, they're basically useless because your foot will go through the bottom of the car. That's oxidative stress. That's what causes. Same thing is happening inside your body when you have free radicals that are not being neutralized and they're not being checked and removed. Same thing for your skin. Aging, remember, reversing aging from the inside out. Oxidative damage, your skin every day bombarded with oxidative stress hitting it. So it's from the inside out and it's from the outside in. Both ways you're being bombarded with this, and the aftermath of it not being removed is called oxidative damage or oxidative stress. So here's another example of what oxidative stress is. Here's this green apple. This is a normal cell. It's got lots of the NFR2 protein, massive amounts of antioxidants are being released on a daily basis. And this is when you hit about in your 30s, when the cells are being attacked by free radicals, and that NFR2 protein is not operating the way it should. They're in, your mid-30s, so there starts to be some damage. But look at this. When the true oxidative stress sets into an organ or sets into a cell, this is what it looks like. The onslaught, the 100 trillion cells that are no longer being neutralized, the aftermath of it is this. But what does that look like? This is what's so important for you to understand. What does oxidative stress look like inside of the body? Jackie, what's it linked to? And I'm going to show you how you can figure out if what you're dealing with, as simple as aging, is affected and getting older and the body actually breaking down is linked to oxidative stress. But it's also linked to myocardial infarction, which we know to be a heart attack, or hypertension, or cardiac fibrosis. In the skin, it's linked to aging and melanoma, chronic kidney disease, joints, the lungs, asthma, allergies, cancer, COPD, the brain, the immune system is affected, blood vessels are affected, multi-organs, diabetes, fatigue syndrome, eyes, macular degeneration. Oxidative stress, the buildup of these free radicals, the aftermath of it affects every single organ in your body to one degree or another, and are linked to over 300 different diseases. Oxidative stress is for humans, here you go, what resting is to iron. It's literally damage inside of your body. And I've often wondered, why is it that all of a sudden when you reach a certain age, your body just literally begins to fall apart? Well, this is why. Because those pathways aren't working anymore. The cells don't have the ability to make their own antioxidants and remove these free radicals like they did when you were young at a rate of 1 to 1 million per second, and there begins to be damage and the body breaks down. So what's the solution, Jackie, to the oxidative stress? And that's the whole reason we're here today, and why I am so excited about this new technology is because now there's a way to literally erase years inside of your body and turn back the clock. And when I said that opening, this is literally true, and we have clinical trials to prove it, and I'm so excited to share this with you today. And the solution for reducing oxidative stress, of course, it's always important to eat a wonderful, healthy diet as you possibly can, lots of fruit and vegetables, as fresh and raw as you can get them. But even when you do that, about the most you can expect is 1 antioxidant to 1 free radical. Well, when you compare that to 100,000 sextillion every single day, that's like walking into a blazing building and throwing a Dixie cup on it. Still very important, a very important part, but it's not the absolute answer. Here's the answer that was there from creation. It's to activate your NRF2 pathway. When that pathway and that protein becomes active in your cells again, the body on its own, literally within just minutes from it entering into your bloodstream, it literally begins to work, and it begins to remove those free radicals that are bombarding you 24 hours a day, even in your sleep, at a rate of 1 to 1 million per second. But listen to this. Yes, you're being bombarded 24 hours a day, but when you activate that protein, that NFR2 protein that's inside of all your trillions of cells, it's then removing the damage 24 hours a day. So that's pretty exciting. Now, there's a formula that I want to talk to you about today that is natural and potent, and it's the direct link to this new technology and the clinical science that I'm going to share with you. And it basically comes from 5 herbs. This very powerful formula has 13 patents. It was over 40 years of research, and it contains 5 herbs, which are ashwagandha, green tea, turmeric, milk thistle, and bacopa extract. Now, you could go to the health food store and you could get these 5 things and think, well, I'll just take these 5 things. And that's simple, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't cause this very powerful activation of the NFR2 pathway and begin removing those free radicals like they did when you were in your 20s. It was the way it was synergistically put together. Certain compounds from certain parts of the plant or herb put together in such a powerful way that made it very potent, and upon ingesting and digesting and gets into the bloodstream, it literally will step up to the doorstep of every single one of your trillions of cells. It'll ring the doorbell, and it'll tell that NFR2 pathway and those 3 youth enzyme genes to get back to work. And they begin to wake up, literally, just like this picture, and they start removing that free radicals that are bombarding your body at a rate of 1 to 1 million per second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, this is the exciting piece of this. From the clinical trials, these clinical trials started many years ago on this formulation for the potential of what it could do, and what they found out and why this became such a massive find, which you're going to see here in just a couple of minutes, is that when they tested this, they found that this formula, just taking 1 a day over a 30-day period of time, get this, caused a reduction in that oxidative stress or damage, remember, 40% reduction in just 30 days. And they found that within 4 months, there was a 70% reduction in oxidative stress or damage removed within 4 months. They also found not only that, the 40% and 70% reduction of oxidative stress, but it also found that it turns on between 400 to 500 of your survival genes. Now, it may affect many more than that, but the clinical trials so far show that it turns on between 400 to 500 of your survival genes. That's upregulating genes, downregulating genes, bringing balance to your survival genes, and they're that to help you survive. I love this slide. Of the clinical trials, when they were doing these trials, they found out that they could take the blood after 4 months of an 80-year-old person and compare it to the blood of a 20-year-old person, and you could not tell the difference between an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old. And we actually had this happen with a gentleman that had some heart issues, and he had a couple of different cardiologists that literally told him, 2 different ones, you have the insides of a 25-year-old man, and he's 75 years of age. I'm talking very powerful technology, and it's available to you today, but I want you to do your research. PubMed.gov is like the holy grail of medical research. By the time it's listed in PubMed.gov, a lot of research has been gone into this by some very powerful places. But you can go to PubMed yourself, and you can type in oxidative stress in the heart, oxidative stress in lungs, whatever you can think of. And there's actually, as you'll see here, 182,512 different search results. Oxidative stress is huge and linked to the mechanism of over 300 diseases, y'all. This is a game changer. If you can find the source, and now we have something that we know that will reduce it by 70% in 4 months. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And here's another site, nrf2science.com, nrf2science.com. And we're going to send out this webinar. You'll be able to write all this up. Another powerful place to do your research about this NFR2 pathway and how it affects the body. But there's proven science behind this, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to be part of partnering with this company to bring this to the forefront, because I myself started getting sick in my late 20s. I was diagnosed with early stages of lymphatic cancer. It really altered my life as a young mother with 4 children, and because of things I had learned about natural compounds, I knew how powerful it could be. But to be here today with this new technology is such a game changer for people because it answers so many questions. And our proven science has 29 clinical peer-reviewed studies that are published in PubMed.gov. I'm going to show you who some of those places were. Peer review means that not our company, but other universities and hospitals paid their own money to research this product. When it first came to the forefront of the potential of what this was, not potential, but that it actually reduced oxidative stress up to 70% in 4 months, these places started coming out of the woodwork to spend their own money to research it against many other things. And these are actually published in PubMed.gov right now. There's also 89 peer-reviewed studies currently being done, over 60,000 medical studies that have been published, and much more. And look at this. These are the universities and hospitals that have paid their own money to do their own research on this formulation. How about the American Heart Association? We have our own clinical trial from them. National Institute of Aging did their own 10-year study with 3 different universities involved. And what they found, they were testing natural compounds and they were testing pharmaceutical compounds. And our formula was the only one out of all of them that was proven to extend life by 7%. And they also found about halfway through that they were only using half dosage, so it could have been even more. We have Mayo Clinic, you have Johns Hopkins University, Harvard University, and the list go on and on that have spent their own money to research this very powerful formula. And some of the clinical trials that have been done, and one of them that really got my attention when this first came to me was a 9-year cancer study, an ALS study. They've done lung studies. There's a glutathione, which is known again as a master antioxidant. That study shows that it increases glutathione up to 300%, no 300% within a 4-month period of time. That's the master antioxidant power fighter, literally protecting every single one of your trillions of cells in the body. And that is so powerful. And I want to close with this slide because I always believe in a call to action. I want you to get back to the person who invited you here today. There's tons of things that they can send you, testimonials. They can connect you up with the people to learn more. They can, if you haven't seen the ABC documentary movie, have them give you that so you can see kind of how this whole thing got started. But get back to the person who invited you. Get on this formula as soon as possible. It's as simple as taking one a day for the rest of your life. And you might, because people ask me, well, Jackie, how long do I need to take this? As long as you're breathing. Because when you're breathing, remember, your body 24 hours a day is releasing those 100 sextillion free radicals. And without that pathway in check, this building up inside of your body, but taking one a day, we know reduces oxidative stress by 70% in 4 months, 40% within 30 days, and it turns on your survival genes. I don't know about you. I think it's a game changer, and I'm so excited about it. That's why I'm so passionate and literally coming to you every day, 4 days a week. So to help us get the word out, partner with us and bring your friends, bring anyone that you know of that needs to know about this. And I want to thank you for being here today. Get back to the person who invited you on the call, and they will give you directions to what you need to do to get this product in your body. God bless you all. And I'll be back Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.